Let's begin.
Here we go! Hi, everybody!
Start the insanity.
You are not worried, are you?
Me? No.
Well, we're waiting.
Hello, and welcome to Super Media All-Stars. We are a weekly podcast, and today we are talking about the Nintendo 64, because it is episode 64, so we thought how fitting that we'd be diving into this subject. And it's pretty relevant because we got a lot of news coming up and speculation to talk about here shortly. But first, I'm your host, John Harris, and I'm joined by three other All-Stars. First one being Jake Boston.
My favorite color is watermelon red.
Brent Harris.
Pika pika!
And Andy Guild.
Get in or get out.
I like how, Brent, that's what Riley said last week, so we need to do a different introduction.
He said pika pika?
He sure did.
Damn it, Riley.
So you're just riding on Riley's coattails.
Just put Riley's sound effect in to where Brett just said.
This is the perfect imitation. Well done.
I would have let it slip.
Like I said, we'll be going over the Nintendo 64 today, picking out some of our top favorite games. We're going to attempt to do a Super Media All-Stars top 10 among the four of us. All of us have a good history with Nintendo 64, so we'll be talking about that a little bit later. But first, it's been about a week since we talked video games. Have you guys had a chance to check out anything new or dive deeper into anything?
There's a game I've been playing for a while that I haven't talked about on here.
What's that?
Just because it's a remake of a game, but this game is so good. I'm going to talk about it.
What is it?
Burnout Paradise.
On Xbox?
Yeah, Xbox One and PS4.
Nice.
I have it for PS4, and oh my god.
Does it hold up better than some of the more modern Need for Speeds or anything like that?
Yeah, I would say the last 4 or 5 Need for Speeds have really sucked. Like the launch one with the PS4, I think that was Need for Speed Pursuit. That one was pretty good.
I can't think of the last Burnout we've had.
Because there hasn't been. There's been like Burnout Crash, which is like a downloadable little game.
Okay.
But there hasn't been a proper Burnout game since Paradise.
Gotcha.
And they're just bringing this back like, oh, it's been 10 years. I guess we should just like re-release this. People will pay money. And yeah, I paid $40 to play it again.
Nice.
Fucking love it. Good stuff.
I attempted to play Red Dead again. And I played it for a half hour before I said I am bored again.
A half hour?
Yeah, before I was bored again.
You didn't give it enough time.
This is so music to my ears because I fucking, that's what I said. I said they're just boring. They're boring games.
I did 2 missions, and it just hasn't hooked me like I want it to.
Because it goes slow.
It does, but like even the storytelling is not there yet. The action's not. I mean, I'm not expecting a lot of action.
Are you still in like the winter area?
No. I'm on my
okay.
first camp settlement. I'm doing missions now.
Oh, so are you past like the hump, like the 6-hour like slow hump that all the journalists were talking about?
I think so.
And you still don't like it?
Not
Interesting.
yet. Not
He's
yet.
not all the way over that hump, and it sounds like he won't ever get there.
Very interesting.
I did a couple legendary hunts where you get some fur. I did some debt collecting. Did some story-based missions. And man, it's just not there yet. I'm really sad by it.
You don't like hunting? You don't like going fishing?
You don't like micromanaging your hobo squad?
It's not there yet.
Yeah.
The attraction has not gripped me.
Good
as
thing
I
you
wanted
paid $80 for the collector's edition.
It sure did. It's like
Ouch.
It's like one of those things I'm obligated to play just because I invested in it.
Right.
So, but that's because I've been wanting to play. That 3 of us got to touch on this weekend was Tetris Effect, and oh boy, this game has got me addicted. I've been playing a ton of it in VR, and I kind of explained to Jake and Brent when you guys experiment with it, but being in that setting and playing Tetris with those effects and atmosphere, I could just sit there for hours and play this game.
I wanted to really bad.
We did.
Yeah. Well, you guys did. I had an hour chunk to where like I could come over and play it, and I wanted to play it so long because Tetris is probably my favorite game of all time.
It's so addicting.
Just because it's perfect.
Yeah.
And you can never mess it up. Unless you add Puyo Puyo to it. Yeah. We don't talk about
They've
that.
definitely tried to mess it up.
Yeah, definitely. There's been every iteration of Tetris, and now they are pretty much. I think the guy who made Luminous made this game,
one?
Tetris Effect, and it's a great mixture of the two games. It's what you think of Tetris plus like the environmental aspects of like music sucking you into the gameplay. Mm-hmm. This is a type of puzzle game to where like you can be really sucking, and then little minute change happens to the music, and then like your brain gets fixated on that, and then you just get in the zone and you just go like line by line, getting all of the blocks getting lower and lower, and one of the best feelings in the world.
We're on like the 4th or 5th series of levels where the difficulty starts like at level 12. And it's just
That's fast.
the pacing. It spikes so hard. It gets so hard. And now that I know I was telling Jake earlier, but there's some additional mechanics that I wasn't aware of.
Yeah,
Such-
when we were playing, I asked him, is there a way to hold one of the Tetramino blocks? Because in normal Tetris, you can do that.
Son of a bitch.
And he's like, no, there isn't. So I'm like, oh, okay, whatever.
Turns out one of the shoulder buttons saves a piece for later, and when the triggers activates a time freeze, where you just start where you create lines, and then once the time stops, all those lines get pushed away because you created them.
Wow, if only there was a way to make this game not as hard.
You know when you get a 4-time bonus?
Yeah.
That's what your freeze thing is. You click on it, and then you get frozen for X amount of time.
Almost wasted.
Yeah.
So when Danielle and first started playing, and we going back to these levels, we're still getting like B's and C's ranking. So I'm like, we're doing really good here. What's the problem? And then once I experimented with the controllers, and I came across it by accident because one of the animals bumped me.
Was there a tutorial that you skipped?
Yep. Because I should know. I know how to play Tetris.
It is like
Obviously you
Tetris.
don't.
There's nothing different about this game.
So,
Never skip the tutorial.
I will say, out of the things I played this year, this is probably already in my top 10, if not top 5 games of the year.
Is this the first game you've played in 2018 in VR?
I think so.
See, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Well, yeah, because I remember we were talking last year, like we all thought there were going to be VR games coming out this year that were going to be
Revamping
big.
VR for 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
If I had to rate this game right now, which I haven't rated a game in a podcast in a long time, but I'm like at a 4 out of 5. If not 4.5 out of 5.
My experience was 4.5 out of 5.
I wish they would have every once in a while a throwback, like make like a remake, like a nostalgia stage from like
Game Boy?
original Game Boy
With faded
Tetris.
yellow?
Yeah, and then remake the music.
With
that'd be
the
sweet.
original Tetris
Yeah, sure.
themes.
Just like 1 or 2 of those, because they have so many like different. Like they changed not only the background that you're playing in the music, but also like your cubes turn into like gears or
yeah.
like ice blocks or sand blocks.
Kind of like Luminous. I know none of you have played that game, but yeah, this is just like such a good mixture. Like if you like Tetris Effect, or if you like Luminous, like vice versa, just play either or of these games because both of them are genius.
Exactly. So, but anyway, anything else on your guys' ends?
Do I have time?
Yeah. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah, just quickly. I got there's a new quote unquote asterisk Fallout game called Fallout New California.
What?
Yeah, I was telling Brent a little bit about this. It's a mod for New Vegas.
So it's not new.
No, that's the asterisk.
Okay.
It's a mod for New Vegas that basically creates a new game out of New Vegas that's a prequel to the events of New Vegas.
What?
Yeah, so it's like I played the first like 2 hours of it today, and it's like it starts off in a brand new vault. There's like you're a football player in the vault, and like your coach is like this like we need to fix America, we need to overthrow and the vault and go out there and make the country right again. And he gets like all the football players to go crazy and like start killing everyone in the vault. So you can choose whether you want to go with him or resist him and like fight back against him.
This is already amazing.
Yeah, and like the cool part about it that like threw me off really hard in the beginning. I decided like I usually play twice these Fallout games. I'll play once like a good guy, once as like a dick. So because there's always like the dickhead option.
Right.
And I was playing this, and like in Fallout 4, you can be a dick to everyone, and it doesn't matter. Like the same shit's gonna happen. In this, they sent me to be a security person with the coach's sister, and I went up to her, and she's talking to me, and she said, "What's your name?" And one of the options was sarcastic. It was like, "We live in a vault together, and we've been here for 10 years. How do you not know my name?" So I said that, and she said, "Get the hell out of here right now." And it was over. Like you can, if you disrespect her, you can't continue on with that.
What?
So yeah, so you have to go do a different thing and get to the events a different way. So they really
Dang.
put a lot of work into this, and it's really like
This is a fan-based
impressive.
mod.
Yeah,
That's the best content that comes to Skyrim and Fallout games.
Definitely. Like
fan based stuff.
And we were also kind of talking about how fans have fixed all the Bethesda games over the years because Fallout 76 is probably going to be a massive shit show.
It looks like it.
Yeah, like, and Bethesda's not good at fixing their games that they ship broken.
As a Fallout fan, that game is doing nothing for me.
Yeah. So, but anyway, the New California. The only problem I had with it, New Vegas itself doesn't run very well when there's a lot of characters on screen. Like even the final battle of the final battle in New Vegas, like the Caesar's Legion and the new NCR and everything. It's always a little buggy and choppy.
Sure.
Every time I've played it, and this game, based on the setup, the prologue ends with like this huge battle, so it's very choppy and very just hard. Kind of runs hard.
Sure.
And then. After I beat the prologue and I got out into the wasteland, there's like a spot where you like gather all your people and you find your companion if you want him, whatever, and then it froze.
Oh, really?
Which is a mod problem.
Yep.
So I'm gonna have to fix the install or do something to figure out how to play it.
So it has to be running off the New Vegas engine then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And
That's why it's so choppy and weird.
Okay.
Yep.
That's 360. New
Yeah,
Vegas is on,
PS3,
right?
yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can definitely tell it's an old game, but they've added so much stuff to it, and it's fully voice acted. It's crazy how much detail and effort has gone into this thing.
That's cool.
Has it been around for a while?
It's been in quote unquote beta for a few years, and it just got its final or close to final release, but it's still called a beta technically.
Huh.
Yeah, but it's in its most polished form it's ever going to be in probably.
Sure.
They're doing the same thing right now for Fallout 4. Fallout Miami.
Really?
It's a fan-based mod that's like another 20 to 30 hours of gameplay.
Anything on your end there, Brent?
The only thing I've been playing is recently I've been playing Killing Floor 2 with my buddies again.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. And then I've also been playing Odyssey for a second time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Switch?
nice.
Nice. Did you end up not going all the way through your Warcraft expansion?
No, I canceled it.
You canceled it?
Yep.
Wow.
That boy, Brent.
Yep.
I don't like playing by myself, and I couldn't get my friend Adam to get on the same time a lot, so it just wasn't worth the money every month.
Wow.
And the expansion's really bad.
Really?
Did you think it was bad?
It's just moderate.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate considering the BlizzCon ended on a really bad note for them as well.
Warcraft 3 remake? What do you think, huh?
Yeah. The fact that they're putting Diablo on mobile is just the worst idea.
Why
ever.
is that the worst idea ever? Why is everybody freaking out about this?
Because
Just 'cause it's not-
it should have been Diablo 3.
should have
been Diablo 4.
Okay, because here's the problem is that they were teasing a Diablo project and they have been for a long time.
Yeah.
And they've been kind of insinuating that it's Diablo 4.
But they've also been saying they've been working on multiple Diablo projects.
Right.
So
but
why are you getting so
that-
pissy?
Yeah, okay, but that doesn't matter to the fans. So they released this thing and they kind of acted like it was the next Diablo, and then people got mad and they put a lot of the mechanics in this new game that the old people have been wanting forever in like Diablo 3. And then I think the thing that really set people off was they found out that it was being co-developed with this Chinese developer.
Yeah.
And it has the exact same like look and like the UI of this like cheap ass like Chinese knockoff.
It's
of
like they're
Diablo.
putting a Diablo skin on top of this
Yeah,
game.
I think that's what really started upsetting people.
I get it. If you get all your Blizzard fans in one area, there could be a riot. So I don't know.
They should have just like canceled BlizzCon.
After
Not
that,
had one this year. If that's
Or-
your biggest announcement,
I would say, or just not announce Diablo, or do what fucking Bethesda did when they announced 76, which could have also been a shit show, and said, "Hey, by the way, here's Starfield, and here's a overhead shot of a forest, and it says Elder Scrolls. We've literally not started this game.
this will be out in 6 years.
Yeah, this will be what you guys will be fixing in 6 years.
I have
for
heard
us.
that they did have a teaser trailer like that for Diablo 4, but then decided to axe it last minute.
I've heard that too, but Blizzard denied that.
Oh, did they?
But you
Okay.
never know.
I think more Diablo is a good thing. Like, just because it's not what you wanted doesn't mean it's this horrible shit. It's bad. I don't know.
Does that mean you guys aren't going to play it?
I will try it.
No,
I won't even touch
absolutely not.
As a mobile game,
Jesus.
mobile game.
Absolutely.
Well, okay, so mobile games that intense are stupid to me to begin with, and it'll just make me want to play Diablo on my PC, which runs 100 times better.
yeah.
But is it classic Diablo or is it more like card-based game?
This is like
No,
the
it's-
classic Diablo.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
straight up Diablo.
I don't think it works on your phone because with Diablo you need to see a lot of the shit around you
Yeah.
or you get screwed. So it's either they have changed the gameplay massively to accommodate that or the screen's not going to be big enough.
Yeah. Plus, mobile games like that on the phone just have never intrigued me. They're so boring to me.
Yeah. Not a big enough
Scoff,
screen.
scoff, PC
it's-
elitist bullshit over here.
It's not
Jesus.
it's not you'll see when you try to play this stupid thing. It's not a big enough screen to play Diablo
If
on.
I don't have 60 keys to press at all times, just
Nope.
cancel me out of this.
You'll see. You'll see. You'll be like John with this Red Dead shit and saying, "I'm sorry, Andy. I'm sorry. You were right."
I'm gonna try it when
Did
it
I
comes
say
out.
that? Did I say that?
That's what I heard.
All right, guys, let's jump into the meat portion of our show, and that is going to be everything the Nintendo 64. So you might be asking yourself, why are we talking about the Nintendo 64 almost 20 years later? That feels like.
Because who the fuck cares, John?
Exactly.
I don't
It's
know.
episode 64, and it's kind of, we're going to tie it slightly to the news because rumors keep circling about this Nintendo 64 Mini. And we've had our discussions on what games would be there, and hopefully it's imminent. Hopefully coming holiday 2018. Cross your fingers.
That might be a Game Awards announcement.
There's a rumored,
Oh my
supposedly there's a
God.
rumored direct still coming this month, but no one can confirm it.
I've heard that too.
And I really want
Yeah.
it. It makes sense for Nintendo to do one last holiday push, but I don't know. I digress.
I could see one before Black Friday.
Yeah,
it
to push
it
sales.
makes all the sense in the world.
I got us way off track again. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
That's all right. That's all right. So Nintendo 64, I got some quick stats just to kind of put in place what the system did. 32 million units sold, which actually in the grand scheme of Nintendo is not actually considered really a success for
Yeah.
them.
It's middle of the road, I would say.
It's middle of the road.
More than GameCube.
But compared to SNES prior to it, and then the Wii, the Wii coming 10 years later almost.
well, the Wii is the best-selling console of all
Exactly.
time. So.
224 million software sold on this system.
You know what's crazy?
What's that?
The Switch will probably pass the N64's lifespan next year.
Probably.
It's already at 22.
It's already past the Wii U and GameCube
Yeah.
sales. So that's nuts. It's on its way to could be Wii level, but we'll see.
It won't hit 100 million.
No.
I think we got 105 million.
Did it?
Yeah.
The Switch doesn't have as much crossover appeal to get those kinds of numbers, I feel like. But
I guess it depends if they bring the Switch, if they think of it like a handheld, because they have
Right.
like so many different types of variations for all of their handhelds.
That's true.
If they do it that way, we're off track again. Fuck me.
they're probably gonna announce the Switch 2 for next year.
That's the rumor.
Beefier
I've heard
Switch.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, blah, blah, blah. N64 time.
Classic. It was a classic 5-year cycle system. 96 pretty much to 2001 when things started wrapping up for this console.
Didn't GameCube come out in 2001?
It did, and I
Okay.
think 64 ceased production in 2002.
Gotcha.
So it was codenamed Project Reality, which was a term developed with some kind of Silicon Valley company that was pretty much working on 3D graphics as well.
So it was Project Reality and then Ultra 64 and then Nintendo 64.
Yep.
Okay.
Supposedly the Ultra was dropped because Konami had some kind of license beef with Ultra.
Well, because that was their second licensing. Back in the NES days, licensor could only put out X amount of games per year.
Right.
So Konami decided to branch out and make a second wing called Ultra Games or Ultra Unlimited Games or something like that.
And that's where probably the licensing came in.
They might have still had the IP 10 years later, yeah.
I could see that. This
I didn't
system,
know that.
Yeah, this system sold for $200 retail. I think it was originally going to be $250, but then there was some beef with Sega Saturn and PlayStation in the hot market at the time, so Nintendo dropped it to $200. Prior to what I knew, because I don't remember, I was a child when the 64 came out pretty much, it was a huge demand for this system. And I would never would have known that. I wasn't really paying attention to video games at the time, but it's high demand. And what's also surprising to me, because I kind of always brush over this fact, that it was late to the 3D party.
It was a year after the PS1.
Yep, and if you count it, the Sega Saturn. So not too many people think of the...
I don't count it.
No
Yeah?
one counts the Sega
No.
Saturn.
No?
No.
No, totally not.
I think that only lasted 3 years on the market.
Sony,
Like it was a little longer than Dreamcast.
Yeah, and PlayStation had crushed it before the 64 even came out.
Yes.
So
If your banner title is Nights into Dreams, you're fucked.
Between America and Japan and kind of worldwide, there was a total of 388 games, which is nuts considering PlayStation had like over like 1,000 games on its console.
Yeah. Well, the NES had like 850, something like that.
Yeah.
So.
That kind of leads to some of the problems the 64 had, and I won't go too much into it because we're trying to glorify it in this episode. Cartridge base really bit them in the ass later in its lifespan, considering everybody else was using CDs and like this. I think the max 64 cartridge can hold is 64 megabytes.
So size-wise, but as far as durability, those thinkers are actually pretty good over time.
And fun fact, the 64 was actually more powerful than a PlayStation.
That's true. Yeah, the chipset actually rendered things much more beautifully.
Like that's why the 64 looks more pointy, like polygon-wise, and the PlayStation looks a lot more like cloudy.
Word.
Just because they don't have processing power, so they're like, oh, throw clouds in here, just hide everything that looks shitty.
Right. The 64 actually did a lot of inventive stuff. It introduced to a Z button. It gave us like a analog stick, and I don't think the DualShock had analog sticks yet when the 64 dropped.
No.
Nope.
So this was
They
the first.
kind of had to react to the Nintendo 64 having an 8-way directional
Yeah,
stick.
yeah.
Their analog sticks came out 2 years after the console launched.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And I don't think an analog stick been used on a console since like the Atari days prior. So it's been a gap. It was a gap before the analog stick really was used again.
It was a rough comeback, though.
Yeah,
those
that's like
analog sticks kind of
Yeah.
sucked.
Oh, yeah, the 8-way
Yeah.
directional
Yeah.
shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
they're
was
pretty.
bad.
It's pretty terrible. I feel like they mastered it with the GameCube controller,
Right.
Because you had more range to move your thumb around.
Yeah,
But yeah,
and
it was kind of rough.
And it wasn't plastic; it was rubber.
Yeah,
The plastic 8-way directional analog stick was just bad. Like I think I have like 5 or 6 N64 controllers, and 4 out of the 6,
That
their analog sticks are
They're
just
broken.
Like, hanging
The-
off to the left or right.
the actual movement within games is so much more smoother than 64. 64 felt like it had a jolt each way you're
Well, I
trying
think
to
even
aim.
the stick,
Yeah.
in the stick motions had like a little tiny little slot that they'd go into.
Yeah, it's 8 ways.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it was limited.
so
Well, I
it
mean,
made,
this
it made
is the-
sense to do it like that.
Yeah.
This is the first time they did 3D.
Right.
They were trying to learn like everybody else was.
Yeah, and like Nintendo with controllers especially, they've always kind of set the market in that way.
Yeah.
Like they've always kind of been ahead of everyone else in how we should be controlling the games, and everyone kind of conforms to what they're doing.
Well, Super Mario, we'll get into it later. It's another podcast on its own, but Super Mario kind of introduced how to control in a 3D space and using a camera properly. And I don't think PlayStation had mastered that yet at this point, because PlayStation did a lot of like Crash Bandicoot singular shot, a lot of 2D stuff still.
Yeah.
So they didn't really experiment much as Nintendo did.
Crash Bandicoot came out like 2 months before Super Mario 64 did.
Oh, really?
And they just decided to like bask behind the 2D. It's a 2D
Yeah.
gameplay, but it's in like a 3-dimensional realm.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Super Mario 64 blew it out of the water.
The controller to me was always weird to begin with because it's got 3 handles.
Yeah.
64.
Yeah, which I mean, I don't think anyone ever used the left handle.
I'm missing
Unless
a
you're
hand.
left-handed.
Yeah.
What do you mean left-handed?
I thought that's why they made it the way they did. Just so like left-handed people could hold it in a different way.
How would you use the buttons on the right-hand
I
side?
don't know, left-handed people are weird.
You have a little tentacle that comes out. I think there were a few games that would use it. I think Pokemon Stadium used it for the mini games. For some of the mini games, you would use the alternate left hand
They also
thing.
they also advertised it for conform to your playstyle, and it showed like 4 different ways to hold the controller. And I think I only use the one way to play the controller.
Yeah, it's
which,
definitely bizarre.
yeah, I'm not sure what the thought process was there, but peripherals were abundant with the 64. You had your expansion packs, you had your Rumble packs, you had your Game Boy peripherals.
Let's go through these one by one, okay?
Do you want to go through these one by one?
The expansion pack doesn't really do a lot for a lot of games, but the games that it does utilize, mind-blowing.
Right, and I think they were Majora's Mask, Nintendo
Yeah.
64, and Perfect Dark.
Donkey Kong 64,
Donkey Kong
is
64.
bundled in.
Yeah,
Oh, that's right.
it shipped with it. That's the one I had. The translucent green, jungle green, or nitro green, or
Oh,
whatever.
nice.
It came with the expansion pack, but you had to put the expansion pack in yourself.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
true.
very weird.
It came with like a little tool to pop it out
Yeah.
with, but the tool sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I think that was towards the end of its cycle too.
Yeah, I don't remember when Donkey Kong came out.
It was towards the end of its run.
I know that Perfect Dark, the only thing that it did was make multiplayer from 2 players to 4. Like if
Sure.
you had the expansion, it went to 4. That's what happened with Hydro Thunder too. You could go from 2 to 4.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that that kind of leads to like Nintendo 64 being the only console on the market at that time that allowed 4 people to play at the same time.
Mind blowing.
Yeah, because PlayStation had 2, Sega had 2. I can't think. Yeah, there was a.
Yeah, you could buy a multi-tab, but then developers wouldn't program for 4 players. At least all of them.
I feel like GoldenEye was the pinnacle point for 4-player.
Yeah.
Yeah,
helps-
I'm
helps,
horrible.
though.
I'm horrible with games timeline wise for the 64, but
Right.
yeah, that's one of the first games I remember playing on. It was GoldenEye.
PlayStation did have that adapter that came out and then plugged 4
It
controllers.
looks like a boomerang. It looks
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah,
That
it's
was
like
weird looking.
I think that was a reaction to the N64
64.
and GoldenEye.
That's true.
Because I feel like GoldenEye, like I agree with you there too, Jake. About like I just see like John has laid out a spread of Nintendo 64 games in front of us to look at in their glory, and I just feel like I don't know when the hell this came out. These are just games that were on the Nintendo 64. I think that was just because it was before like we paid attention to release dates and stuff. It was just
Definitely.
like, this is the N64. This is what's on it. I don't know what's coming out. Has a lot of cool games. Quest 64 is
GoldenEye
awesome.
came out in '97, so only a year after the system launched.
There you go then.
So yeah, that was a huge multiplayer selling point. Super Mario 64 was a single player game, but it was like a 1-to-1 attach rate
Yeah,
with the system launch. I mean, everybody is that what Pilot Wings came out with.
those are the only two
Two that
launch
came
games.
out?
Yep.
Can I talk about the Rumble Pack?
Rumble Pack.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Sorry.
Okay, Rumble Pack, the first of its kind. Again, PlayStation. What was this bundled in with? The Rumble Pack.
Star Fox.
Was it Star Fox 64?
Yeah.
And then once Rumble was introduced, PlayStation just put that into its new DualShock controller,
Yep.
so analog and Rumble all in one.
Yeah.
Rumble is such a weird thing to be like, we want to put Rumble in our game. It was weird that the Nintendo 64 controllers had like the expansion slot on the back,
Yeah.
and that it ended up having like the Rumble thing, and then the Pokemon game, the Game Boy game slot thing.
Yeah, the
where you could transfer your Pokemon to Stadium.
Yeah.
That was super weird.
Or
too.
you could play like the Pokemon games. Like that was their
Yeah.
version of the Super Game Boy, except you could only play Pokemon games in
That
it.
was really cool.
So
too.
fucking yeah, but I wish you could play any Game Boy game in there.
Yeah,
Not just
I
fucking
remember
3
my
games.
my massive disappointment when I tried to put in Mario Land 2, and it just gave me like a Nintendo logo and nothing. I'm like, fuck, this
Damn.
sucks.
If I remember correctly, there was a peripheral in Japan. What was it called? 64DD. That was an expansion that went on the bottom of the 64 and
Yeah.
it played like higher end games, but it never caught on because it was like an attempt to catch up with PlayStation.
Well, that was actually a disc-based system.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So that actually you could get a keyboard and mouse with it, and there were like 4 different versions of a Mario Paint type thing. I think it was called like Mario Artist.
yeah.
And there was just a whole bunch of random ass games that we didn't get. Japan did, but it was only on the market in Japan for like 9 months.
I think it was a version of F-Zero that came in that area too.
FX, I think is what it's called.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it stayed in Japan and never really caught on fire there.
Nope, but they had like a track maker in there too.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I wish we would have got the DD. It would have been something cool.
It's kind of a collector's item now, I would imagine.
And to go with Nintendo and their dumbass peripherals, there was one that came with "Hey You Pikachu."
Oh, yeah.
It was a dumb yellow microphone.
The microphone that game did not work at all.
No.
Like, Pikachu did not listen to your commands.
I watched a commercial of that randomly today, and Pikachu can understand over 200 words.
That's a lie.
Yeah.
That's a total lie.
A fifth of them are just other Pokemon.
And yet, like one of the rarest 64s now is the Hey You Pikachu edition.
Oh yeah.
Because that one looks sweet. It's like
Yeah.
yellow and blue,
Yeah.
and Pikachu's cheeks light up when it's on.
Yeah.
Forgot
cute.
about that.
It came out, I think that like came out towards the end of its cycle. I
Press
think.
Pikachu's little foot to reset it.
Uh-huh.
So adorable.
To wrap up the 64 life cycle per se, it actually lost in a 3D race compared to PlayStation. PlayStation really killed it in Japan, and 64 was just kind of late to the game as far as that goes.
PlayStation killed it everywhere.
Yeah, it did really, because the PlayStation had pretty much been in the market for the West or in America for some time.
I feel like in that case, like with the emerging technology, if you're first to the market, you're probably gonna win.
Yeah,
And it was a lot of developers had trouble developing for the cartridge
that's true.
because the disc made it so much easier.
Well, they lost so much when they went to the cartridge system because so many people went to
They lost Square Enix.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that hurt a lot.
Yeah, Square
Definitely.
said we're not going to develop for these fucking cartridges.
Yeah.
I can't put this game on
And
it.
it was just Nintendo being greedy. They wanted money, like they have
Yep.
always gotten from the NES and SNES
Yeah,
for their
because
cartridges.
they can control how many cartridges you get, and they can sell you their own cartridge.
Yep.
But with the disc, it's like you can get it anywhere, whatever disc you want.
I remember Resident Evil 2 coming out for N64 and it costing $100 because
Yeah.
there was so much in this fucking cartridge. Like, it's the heaviest cartridge I own right now. It's insane.
Damn.
And they put like full motion video in that game.
Whoa.
Oh, that's right.
Wow.
It
forgot
like
about that.
yeah, they pushed the limit of what the N64
Huh.
could do.
And then you got if you're a consumer looking at a Best Buy magazine back then, you're probably seeing PlayStation's like $10 to $20 per game. So why
Yeah.
would I just not buy that? So it makes total sense at the time.
Yeah, but now we're going back to cartridges with the Switch. So.
Yeah, and then surprisingly looking back at it now, I mean, I think 64 holds up better than PlayStation games ever did.
100%
Yeah,
agree.
the games definitely do.
So that kind of prompts our next discussion here. I mean, we're all very familiar with the system. We got some pretty good 64 games in front of us just to inspire us, but I asked you guys to come up with your top 5 Nintendo 64 games. And I didn't put it on your agenda, but hopefully you guys got a couple alternates because I think there's going to be a lot of common ground here.
It's kind of easy to have alternates because there's so many good games on this console.
There is. It's hard to limit it to 5, but we're going to do a roundtable discussion here on our top 5 here.
So, question.
Yeah.
Are we able to pick the same game? Like, is this our top 5? Or if somebody says a game, we can't say that game?
No, you can chime in
Okay.
and say I have that on my list too.
Okay.
Well, we're going to do a top 10 altogether, too.
Yeah, we're going to
So-
tend to.
So maybe we could just... Maybe
Keep it-
overlap doesn't really matter too much for this one.
that works.
Yeah.
Yeah. That being said, who would like to kick it off with let's start with the bottom, number 5.
I'll go first. Mine's Pokemon Snap.
Is it
I
number
remember-
5?
I remember
Oh, dude, mine too.
being so
my
pissed
God.
and happy and in love with this game all at the same time because I couldn't figure out how to get certain Pokemon to spawn, and I had to have like 1 or 2 things that he's like, Professor Oak's like, oh, you got a couple more things to take pictures of.
Yeah.
You gotta know what they are.
Yeah, I remember being frustrated with that one too, and I remember playing the fuck out of that game because it was one of the 2 games we had for a long time. And my favorite moment was getting like the perfect max score picture of
Yep.
Mew at the end. And I was like, I can finally rest now. I've seen it all.
Well, that like I remember being really I like that game a lot. It was actually one of my favorite games, but I hated going back and having to zoom through the entire course just to throw Charmander in the lava to get Charizard to come out. So that made me angry. But yeah, great game.
It's just like an on-rail shooter.
Yeah.
Except you're taking pictures.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And you can interact, like there were so many like weird little interactions with stuff and secrets you could find by like throwing like the Pokeballs. I remember the first one I found was you can guide Pikachu to the surfboard and get the surfing Pikachu.
Yeah.
It's like a special one. And you could go to like Blockbuster or Best Buy or something and print off your photos.
It was Blockbuster.
Yeah, that's so
Seriously.
weird.
They had a
That's such
Pokemon
weird
Snap
thing.
kiosk.
I
Yeah.
did not know that.
It was,
Yeah.
and
That's
they came
crazy.
out like little stickers. So like me and my neighbor would go and we'd print out stickers and just like put them on everything. It was just stupid, but
It featured
fun.
Todd from the anime.
Yeah,
It's really bad.
Todd should be in Smash.
Todd just takes pictures.
No one talks about Todd ever.
I'd take that back. I regret saying that.
One's still one of the more games that people think they want. I don't know how that would look now, but people still want.
Well, no. They need a sequel to that, especially for the Switch. That makes a lot of sense.
I think Pokemon Go is our sequel.
No, it's not.
People take pictures of the Pokemon they caught all the time.
No, yeah, I could see that too.
That's bullshit.
It's not
Yeah.
the same thing.
No, not at all.
When you have AR activated, you're seeing Pokemon in the real world.
Let's go with John's number 5.
Number 5 was Diddy Kong Racing.
Gross.
I loved Diddy Kong Racing.
I'll let you talk and then I'll chime in.
I could
Okay.
probably hum all the songs in that game right now.
This might cause some controversy, but Mario Kart 64 is not on my top 5.
Okay, I'm breaking in right now. This is what I wanted to talk about. You can only have one kart racer. I'm definitely choosing Mario Kart over Diddy Kong.
Mario Kart, as great as it is, Diddy Kong Racing just had so much more to do.
So Mario Kart's better with the playability of all the characters, whereas Diddy Kong Racing, there's only like 2 good ones, and the rest are garbage.
That sounds horrible.
But the game is is amazing.
Like, I get the whole like boss rush thing. Like, you actually can
Yeah.
compete against other things besides just bots.
Well, not
which
just
is
that,
kinda
because
fun.
it implements hoverboat and plane rather than just the cart.
That's
the
gimmicky
same
as
shit.
fuck.
That's the
Yeah,
same
that's
exact
gimmicky
thing.
as fuck.
At the time, it was like revolutionary. It felt like it.
I played a little bit of DKR, I guess you could call it, and I liked how they had like adventure mode, kind of.
Yeah.
it was interesting, but Mario Kart's better.
You know what does adventure mode better?
Who?
CTR. Crash Team Racing, bitch.
You know what? Get off the podcast,
Plus, like
motherfucker.
compared to Mario Kart 64's battle mode, it had battle mode, right? Mario Kart 64.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Oh my god.
But Diddy Kong Racing had a much fleshed out, better battle
You're
system.
fucking
nope.
insane.
I agree with that.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The battle system in Mario Kart 64 is not great.
And then this one, it's like there's different levels. There's different like games you can play, like collect the bananas or shoot people. It's great.
So you like this because there's more variety.
More variety, and I legitimately
Mm.
had fun throughout this entire thing.
You didn't have fun with Mario Kart 64? Is that
I
what you're telling
did.
me, John?
I had fun with Mario Kart 64. But if you were to compare 2 and 2, and I had to make a top 5, Diddy Kong Racing.
That's what we're doing right now.
Diddy Kong Racing takes the spot.
I'm nauseous. I can't believe this shit.
Mario Kart 64 was like one of my go-to rentals, but Diddy Kong Racing was a must-own.
Wow.
Yep, just throwing it out there.
Okay.
Yep. All right, Jake, you're up.
Okay.
How high was Mario Kart 64 on your list?
We'll get to it.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be a while.
For 5, I had a solid 3, and then 4 and 5, I've been switching between like 5 of them. But I think I want to put a sports game on here because there were a ton of them, and there were a lot of good ones. I think there's like 9 or 10 wrestling games. I'm not gonna put any of those because
They're all the same.
they play good, but they look fucking horrible nowadays. But one game that I can still play to this day is NFL Blitz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun.
So damn good.
That's a good game.
It's like, I hate Madden because it's so realistic, and you just I don't have fun with it.
Madden's boring.
Yeah, with Blitz, you can tackle people after the play, and you have turbo to go fast,
And throw them over your shoulder.
yeah.
NFL Blitz is the game that the NFL would never license today. Just
Unfortunately,
because
no.
it's too different. Yeah,
It's so sad. And like, I think they came out with a PS3 360 version of NFL Blitz, and it was so watered down. Like, it just wasn't fun like it was on 64.
yeah. I remember that
I
coming
think
out.
a game like NFL Blitz could fly in today's environment.
It couldn't. That makes me
No
sad.
way.
That's why it's one of my top 5 games
Sports
of all time.
violence
Yeah.
and
Top 5 N64 games.
Yeah.
That and everyone was hulked out.
Yeah. They were
Yeah.
steroided the fuck out.
That's cool.
I think it was only like 6 people on the on like the team. That was it because they're all so big.
Yeah.
My favorite thing was like, end of first quarter, you just make like a huge fucking pile while it's zooming out. Oh my god, this game is so fun.
Yeah. All right, we're back to Brent. Brent, what is your number 4?
So my number 4 was Diddy Kong Racing.
Oh, was it? Okay. Well, made Brent's top 5 too.
I can't wait for make it the top
Can I
10.
make a predi- can I make
it's
a
gonna
pre-
make the top 10. It's gonna piss me off.
I got a prediction for Brent, but I feel like it might be a spoiler. What's on his top 5?
Uh-oh. Well, don't do it then.
Okay, I won't say it.
Okay.
Don't ruin this for him.
You're gonna do it.
I,
He's got that look.
I went in a little different direction with my favorite racer with
Wow.
Star Wars Pod Racer Episode 1.
What?
I think this game is fucking cool as hell. I love this game. It's great.
I
It's
thought it was tough as hell.
Yeah, it was.
it is. It's a hard game, and there's a lot of when I got this game, there was a lot of customization. I've never seen that before in any game before I had played this. Like, you could like tweak your pod every certain little way, and I really liked how fast it is.
Wow.
It's probably the fastest
almost like
racing game on N64.
It had like a Star Wars / realistic version of F-Zero.
Yeah, it really does feel like that. And then I liked how the damage system worked, where you had your 2 pods, and then you could see which one was damaged or not, like try to repair it mid-race. Like, it had a lot of really cool stuff in it, and shortcuts.
I've only played like the first 3 levels of that game before I just gave up.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude,
Did you
it's
play
so
it with
good.
2 controllers to
No.
where like each analog stick can go left or right?
No.
Wait, you can do
God.
that?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
I
they
didn't know
rented
It's
that.
the best way to
Oh
play
my
that
god.
game.
Wow.
It's cool as fuck.
I gotta get my N64 out. Wow. But yeah, I put that at my number 4.
That's like the 4th best racer on the 64.
Oh, please.
Beetle Adventure Racing's better than Star Wars Pod Racer.
I don't know what that is or what Hy-Vee you rented it from.
Another great game.
Another great game on the 64.
There are a ton of great racers on the
No.
64.
Yeah.
I don't have any of these. I don't think any of you guys will either. But San Francisco Rush, like
Yeah.
a lot of the arcade ports, like that and Hydro Thunder, they were so fucking good on the
Cruising
64.
USA was big on the 64.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would agree. A lot of great racers.
love them.
Mickey Speedway is actually really fun.
It is.
It's one of the more underappreciated games, I think.
Have you played Beetle Adventure Racing?
No.
Plays like Mickey.
Oh, really?
It does.
That might be worth checking out.
If you want to get a little serious with your racing,
Try Beetle Adventure Racing.
All right, my number 4 is Banjo-Kazooie.
Okay.
This was a great... after playing some Mario 64, this was like the next step for me as far as how good platforming could get.
It's great.
4?
Yeah,
4?
yeah.
Yeah.
Brent is turning like a grape purple color.
Son of a...
Brent is offended.
I am.
No, this is part of the reasons it's still in discussion today is because what this game did at the time, and people remember these characters fondly and how Rare effed it up later. But platforming at its best, and they just did so much with their environments. Rare was so good with this game.
You might hate me, but Banjo-Kazooie is my number 6.
Yep.
Because
fine.
I'm trying to do like a different genre. Because of course Super Mario 64 is going to be on here, and that game is better than Banjo-Kazooie.
True, but it's hard not to put a ton of platformers.
I'm trying not to. Like
I know,
that's
but-
why I threw a sports game on there.
Sure.
Yeah, I get that. I
this
get
is
that.
my top 5, Brent.
Banjo-Kazooie did a really good job of copying Mario. I'll give it that.
Why do you hate Banjo-Kazooie so much, Andy?
I never really played it. I never had it. I played it at a friend's house, and I just didn't really like it that much.
I love this game so much. I tried getting through nuts and bolts and couldn't do it because I feel like
That's dedication.
yeah, just couldn't do it. It's just so bad.
See, I also didn't put this on my list because the best way to play this game is on Rare Replay on Xbox One.
That's
Oh.
true.
See, I think that this is better than Mario 64. Not
Okay, dude.
You're insane.
Just calm down a little bit.
because for when I was a child, it was easier platforming than Mario 64 was. Mario 64 was super punishing
Yeah.
for mistakes when you're platforming, whereas Banjo-Kazooie, it's a little more leniency.
Like, Kazooie was your buffer.
Yeah.
Kazooie had a couple more years to get like the camera and controls right.
That's
That,
for sure.
That and there wasn't so much like concise movement like there is in 64. Like 64, like that click-clock tower.
Oh god, yeah.
Oh my god.
There's a lot of precision.
That's
shit.
a nightmare.
That game can fuck me all night long. I'll take the punishment.
Jesus.
That and figuring out some of the puzzles was pretty tough in 64.
All right, Jake.
All right.
We're on number 4 still, right?
Yeah, my number 4. This is gonna be my RPG title in here,
Okay.
and I'm gonna sprinkle in some Paper Mario.
Nice. Yeah.
Paper Mario is great, and while I think the Thousand Year Door is better,
Fantastic game.
yeah, better by far, this game still has a charm that is unlike anything else on the 64.
Yeah, this was a huge change to the genre or to the universe.
Yep, I love the type of gameplay that Paper Mario did, to where like you have timed attacks. Like if you hit it just right, you get like a little bonus on there.
Yep.
I don't know. I fucking love Paper Mario. It's great.
I don't remember at the time, but were people still talking about Super Mario RPG? Because that came out pretty late. And
It came out in 95, I think.
Did it?
I think so.
Was Mario RPG even really a huge release?
I don't think so.
I don't think it did that well.
In Paper Mario, I don't remember if it was a huge talk of discussion at the time either, but it definitely goes down. I think it got better with Thousand Year Door, like you said.
Well, just like RPG came out so late in the Super Nintendo.
No, that's true.
Paper Mario came out in 2001.
Oh, wow. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
really,
this is one of the later games for the 64.
And like you said, top 5 is still one of the best ones. I think it's so fun to go back and play. Like RPG elements still hold up in most RPGs.
Yeah.
And this one is one of the better examples of how well it can still stand with the test of time. And this one, like the aesthetic with paper, like it's just an art style, so it's just not.
It
Really,
just looks so different.
Yeah.
It grabbed me as a kid, and I
Yeah.
could not stop playing this thing.
yeah, I agree. Great replay. Brent, we're on to our number 3.
Number 3. Number 3 for me is Super Mario 64.
Me too. I'm gonna jump on with you too.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, like I said, this was very punishing as a kid, so it's actually kind of hard, especially to try and get the all 120 stars.
Yeah.
Played as an adult, you bitch.
Well, I know, yeah,
The
now
goddamn masterpiece.
I'm talking this. I based this list off as I was when I was a kid. So
Okay,
this is
okay.
how I would have ranked them back then. And it's not too far off now still, but yeah, there's everything about 64 is amazing. Obviously, it's the first for Nintendo for in 3D platforming, so it's definitely got its chinks in its armor. But man, what a great game!
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah, I'll just tack on to that. So the first platformer I played on N64 was Donkey Kong 64, and then I got Super Mario 64 like way later, and it was just so much better for being an older game than DK64. It's much better. The platforming is among the best.
And
It might still be the best platformer in 3D
from
from
the 64 to era. I don't know about that.
I would go further. I'd say it's there. If you made like the top 3 platformers, they're probably all Mario games.
Yeah, this
Mario
is the best
64
since Odyssey.
Yeah, I think Mario 64 is the second best. Odyssey's probably the best platformer just because it's like 64 taken to its extreme polished state. I put it at number 3 because I'm not a huge platformer guy,
Gotcha.
which kind of gives into my criticism of Banjo-Kazooie too. I just don't like them that much.
Sure.
And there are 2 games on this table that are much, much, much better.
I understand where you're coming from. Well, ironically, Super Mario 64 is also my number 3.
Wow.
Oh my god.
We're going to sweep.
Well, I'm guessing I know what it's gonna be on our top 10. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, just to add on, exploring 3D space in the first time is mind blowing. Super Mario 64 had some really tough elements, but you worked through them even through a platformer stance. And 120 stars seems much more scaled back these days compared to the collectibles we get.
It wasn't back then, though.
999.
Yeah, it felt like a lot.
It did.
But once you get a grasp of controls and camera and Mario, how he plays, 120 stars seems like that's just fun to go back and get those. Even the DS version was so much fun just because you're replaying old ground with more characters. But Super Mario 64 did it right the first time.
From what I'm gathering from you guys, there are a whole bunch of Zeltards at this table.
Oh, here we go.
Just a lover of Link, and I can't let this stand.
Are we just going to pop the top on the top 2 right away?
Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time 1 and 2.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Let's hear Jake's number 3 first.
That's fucking horrible. No Zelda is on my top 5.
Yeah, that's what I fucking thought. You're biased as shit.
I've never been a Zelda guy.
Oh my god.
Ever.
Gross.
So what comes in your number 3 then?
Mine.
Oh god.
Going on that serious note, my number 3 is Mario Party 2.
Yeah, okay.
Oh god.
Okay.
Because I wanted a fun multiplayer game on here, and
Yeah.
Mario Party 2 is like the pinnacle of that to me.
It's a fun game, and I get it. I can see from your standpoint where it fit in.
If I only had 5 games in my collection, I would have to have a Mario Party. And out of all of the 3 Mario Parties, 2 is the best.
If I need a multiplayer game, sure, I get Mario Party 2.
We each have our own criteria.
Yeah, I'd rather have a multiplayer racer, but I get a party game would be just as fun.
Oh, that's coming up, John.
Whoa.
Ocarina of Time is such a fucking cool, epic game. What? I don't understand how. Have you ever played it?
Not all the way through.
Oh,
It's
okay.
trust. I have other friends that don't like Zelda because they just never played it as a kid, so they
Yeah.
just don't get it.
I know, and I feel like you could pick up Ocarina today, right now, and it would make your top 5.
I played Link in the Past. I played Link's Awakening. I've played Link Between Worlds. I'm a big 2D Zelda guy.
You played Breath of the Wild for a little bit, didn't you?
Breath of the Wild's fun.
Breath of the
but
Wild's.
Breath of the Wild is fun to me because it's open world and you can just like
Yeah.
I had more fun fucking around than I did doing missions in that game.
Sorry, just
That's
remember
fair.
that Breath of the Wild beat Odyssey too. So
Yeah, I know.
Because I'm always outnumbered in this shit.
Breath of the Wild is maybe my favorite game ever at this point.
That's fair.
I don't even feel weird saying that.
I get it.
It's
get
so
it.
good.
Looking on the list, just like kind of like the N64 list. I don't know if we'll get to like how many copies X amount of things sold, but just like on Switch, Mario has sold more than Zelda.
Yeah, which is weird to me, but
No,
I
because
get it.
Zelda is for like hardcore gamers. There's
Yeah.
like, oh, I want to get into this adventure. Mario
it's a
is for
little more-
fucking everybody.
Right.
It always will be, I
But-
think.
Yeah.
I think like Ocarina especially. Majora is my number 1. I'm just
You're
gonna,
ruining everything.
I don't give a
Andy.
shit because you popped the top and you knew what was about to happen.
I guess.
Majora is my number 1. and Ocarina's number 2. I think Ocarina has wider appeal because it's more of a classic fantasy story.
That's so boring.
Then I'm gonna
It's
jump
not
that.
boring.
And boring as I am too, because that's my exact same.
Yes.
Fucking
Oh,
Jesus.
thank
Majora's
you.
Mask is number 1.
Oh yeah.
Majora's Mask resonated with me more than Ocarina did.
Really?
Majora has a more interesting story and more interesting things happening. The time system that the whole world has to abide by is awesome.
Yeah.
And the fact that you can go back and figure people's schedules out and find out where they're going to be and how you have to help them, it's so good.
Plus, people still talk about it today. The complex and the storytelling that goes in Majora's Mask that you didn't pick up on as a kid. But you go back and play it now, there's some really dark shit in that game. People still speculate today was Majora's Mask actually Link dead the entire time? We watched a fan theory about that.
Yeah.
There's so many interesting themes that you go back and play this game. You're like, wow, this game to me is better than Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, and Ocarina's, I could spend longer playing Ocarina just because it's a bigger game, and they built Majora off of all the assets and stuff for Ocarina. Didn't it come out
exact same
a
character, exact same
yeah?
engine. Yeah.
Didn't it come out a year after?
No, it came out towards the end.
Okay, I thought it came out pretty quick after Ocarina, quicker than you would think.
Majora's Mask came out in 2000, and Ocarina
Okay.
came out in
97.
98?
98.
Yeah, it was pretty close after a year and a half, maybe. I don't know. That's just how I kind of feel about it. And the gameplay in Ocarina, it's another one like Mario 64, changed or set how you play a platformer in 3D, and Zelda kind of set how you play an action game in 3D with the Z trigger, the Z targeting.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of different stuff.
On a
they
superficial level, it pretty much took a lot of assets from Ocarina and just repurposed them, which is fun.
Which is smart because it kind of went into that, is this real? When I played it, I was like, is this even a real game that's happening? Because I thought maybe Link was dreaming or dead, or because I played Link's Awakening too.
This isn't fair, and I don't know why I have this in my head. But again, with Banjo-Kazooie, there's a remake that plays way better. Do you think the 3DS version of both Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask play better than they do on N64?
Gameplay wise, yes, but they make a lot of graphic decisions that I don't like. If you play Ocarina, especially, they change a lot of the towns and stuff, so it looks technically better, but it doesn't have that nostalgic feel to it, and it kind of irks me the wrong way.
Majora's Mask 3D remake for 3DS, I have Majora's Mask memorized, like at the back of my hand.
Sure.
And the 3DS version, they kind of dumb it down a little bit because they give you journals to keep track of everybody's schedule. But also the boss fights have clear, explicit weak spots
I hated that.
that were never in the original game.
Oh.
So it's appealing to a younger audience, and it's just that giant eye wasn't there before.
Back in my day, I had to figure out its weak spot.
Exactly.
Okay, so the water temple in Majora's Mask, trying to figure out how to kill that boss was a freaking nightmare as a kid.
And it was
So
terrifying.
why wouldn't you want to make it easier for people nowadays?
Because
fun.
it's a sense of reward.
Because kids these days don't have fucking problem-solving skills, and that's we got that from games back in the day.
Yeah.
That's true. It wasn't a giant yellow ball yellow eyeball saying "hit me."
Oh
Yeah.
Same thing with the water temple in Ocarina. They
Oh
changed
my.
the whole thing, so it takes you through it instead of making you get the switch and figure out what you're doing. Which
So-
I mean, you could say that's better, flow wise, but going through that is super memorable.
Yeah, I would
Back in the
argue.
day.
I would argue the 3DS remakes are very fun for the aesthetic reasons.
Okay.
But if you want to get like a gamer or kind of a gameplay replay ability, then 64 is the way to go.
It's the same thing with A Link Between Worlds. Obviously, it's a little bit different,
Yeah.
and the game's amazing. But it's just a user-friendly version of Link to the Past. A Link to the Past is a very hard game if you don't have a strategy guide.
Yeah,
That's true.
I'm with that. I'm sorry to throw off the top 10, but Jake triggered me. I had to go. So Brent and Jake, I guess you're the only ones who haven't revealed your top 2.
Brent, yeah. So we're back to Brent with number 2.
Okay, so my number 2 is actually Banjo-Kazooie. Majora's Mask is 6 for me. Because okay, so let me walk it through. So Ocarina of Time has Adult Link, which is a big part for me because the Majora's Mask you're a kid the whole time.
It has Deity Link.
Yes, but you only get Deity Link for the final fight.
Yeah.
If Deity Link, which you can go back and fight the other
That's
bosses with
that's
Deity Link.
one of the coolest. You did everything in the game. Here's your reward.
Yeah,
type things. It's awesome.
Which makes the boss a little too easy, but it's
But that's like your reward for like you did everything. You can fight him and just
Wreck them.
destroy Majora. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember just sitting there in the
satisfying.
boss room, just wearing the deity thing, just running around because I just wanted to see the
Yeah.
sword.
I
'Cause
did
it's
that
so
too. It
amazing.
was awesome.
So what's Banjo-Kazooie mean to you, Brent? If it's sitting at number 2.
Like I said, it was kind of the user kid-friendly version of Super Mario 64 for as far as platforming.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like everything in the game resonated better with me than 64 did, Mario 64.
Sure.
I don't know, all the characters, just the levels and the music was just that much better.
And Rare was kind of what actually got me into Banjo-Kazooie was the fact that he appeared in Diddy Kong Racing. I'm just like, why is this guy getting his own game?
Yeah.
I want to play it.
Yeah.
And it was
Wow.
it was just a weird connection. So, but yeah, Jake, what's your number 2?
My number 2, I can't believe, is not on either or on anybody's top 5. It's Mario Kart 64.
Yeah, it's okay.
Wow, yeah,
That game is so fun.
it is good.
It's fine. It's not as good as Star Wars Pod Racer, but
That's like when I think of a pick up and play game, that's Mario Kart 64 on this system. Like if I can't think of anything else to play, I will just jump in and play that.
See, I hate saying this, but Mario Kart 64 is one of the weaker Mario Kart titles.
That's not true at all.
What?
It's either the second or third best. This is tied with me with Double Dash.
Really?
Yeah.
Double Dash is amazing.
Well, we can't. I can't go down ranking Mario Kart right now. It'd be too much. But I get.
Well, no.
I get what you're saying.
Okay, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is the best.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's no
The,
competing
the
with that.
Switch, yeah, that's good.
But then I am tied between 64 and Double Dash.
Okay.
That's fair.
I would
With
argue
like Super Mario Kart and
Mario Kart 64 would be
say-
like 4, 5, or 6 for me.
I'd say Double
Wow.
Dash actually beats 64 just because
It's
it was
close.
such a unique twist on it.
it beats it because it has Baby Park.
Exactly. Well, Baby Park can go fuck itself.
No.
Baby Mario and Baby Luigi, on different hand, with their little like stroller cart,
Yeah.
was amazing.
See, for me, damn it. I said I want to do this. It'd be Mario Kart Deluxe by Double Dash. I really liked Mario Kart 7 on 3DS. It was so good.
It was good.
I liked it. And then I actually really liked Mario Kart Wii.
No. That's like second to last.
Removing
for
the
me.
peripheral, but playing.
Well, no, the Wii wheel aside, that was like kiddie Mario Kart. I
I
hated
really
that.
liked it.
Ugh.
Because although it was pretty much the unlocking aspect. There was so many characters in that
You
game.
love unlocking things.
I
John.
do. It's a
You have an
addiction.
issue.
It's an addiction.
Oh my god, it must be.
Yikes! So
But
yeah.
no, Mario Kart 64 has some of like the best levels ever, and it's just like that out of all of the N64 games, it's probably the game I played the most.
Sure.
So it's just like seared in my mind. I can't get it off.
I gotcha.
And if you're picking 5 games that just kind of, if you only had 5 games to play, that's one that has to be on there. I can't believe it's not on any of your guys's.
It makes for some variety, that's for sure.
Oh my god, I have the theme song stuck in my head right now. The game is so good.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
There's
about.
a lot of unlockables in Star Wars Pod Racer. different pods, different thrusters for your pods, new
Did
characters.
Darth Maul get his own racer?
No, but Sebulba's in it.
Good. Does Qui-Gon Jinn get his own racer?
No, he's in the crowd maybe.
That means we're wrapping up with Brent. What is your number 1?
It's obviously Ocarina of
Yeah.
Time.
Yeah, I figured you're gonna get there.
Yeah, that game was like the pinnacle of my childhood.
It's that weird thing is we don't even discuss it because it explains itself.
Isn't it still ranked like the best reviewed or best something game of all time?
People consider one of the best
Yeah.
games of all time.
You should look up your facts before you start talking about them, because one of the best ranked games of all time is my
Breath of
number
the
one.
Wild.
No, well, probably yeah. Super Mario 64 is the best game. That's my favorite game of all time.
Yeah,
So it's obviously my number 1 N64 game.
it totally makes sense.
Oh my god, I can't believe it's number 3 on your guys's. Zelda, Mario.
Yeah, Zelda's better. It's better gameplay, better
Both Zelda games are way better than what
better
Mario did.
themes, better collectibles, more impactful collectibles.
I don't know if I've ever admitted on this podcast before, but the first time I played Ocarina, I got stuck in the Deku Temple and stopped playing it for like a month or 2
What,
months.
was it when you had to jump into the spider web?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a hard puzzle, and that really teaches you a lot about 3D
space.
And yeah,
because it wasn't a mechanic that I'd even thought about.
yeah. I remember looking it up on Game FAQs with like the little like text file they put up.
Right.
I remember seeing that, and then once you figure that out, the game starts to kind of click together.
I remember spending a long time trying to figure out how to get fire down there.
Oh
Because
yeah.
that's how I thought. I just needed to roll with the fire stick.
Yep. I remember that too.
Jake's so pissed.
Because this is my number one, you fucker. Just stop taking it over with Zelda again.
Yeah, Mario is rough too.
Remember when the game just opens up and it's just like this sprawling shots of the Mushroom Kingdom and it lands on you, you jump out of the pipe, and then you're walking around. You've never walked around in a 3D space before.
Yeah, I also remember getting really angry at some of the most angriest game moments came from Super Mario 64.
Like what?
Like racing the penguin without taking the cheat.
Oh, that's so fun though.
Yeah, once you get it memorized, yeah.
It's so good.
But the penguin would call you out for cheating. I'm like, it's a penguin. Who cares? The penguin doesn't have feelings. And that's when you throw its child off the cliff.
Or every single star in the rainbow world. The last
Rainbow Cruise.
Rainbow Cruise.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But it's such a genius idea to go into Peach's castle and jump into paintings to go into different worlds.
Yeah.
That's so smart.
All right. So, unfortunately, we had to expedite this because we're running long on time. But if we got to, by vote, create our top 10 64 list, it'd be easier to start with number 10 or 1?
Probably one with you guys.
Taking in our
I thought
consideration.
communally Ocarina would probably hit 1 and Mario 64 would probably hit 2.
Thank you.
I'm okay with that.
Me too.
Because that just seems to be right.
And then you
I
can
guess.
put Majora at number 3.
Yeah.
Whatever the hell you guys want.
Are we okay with Majora number 3?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, sweet.
Okay, so we got 3 down.
Yep.
Now what? Banjo at 4?
That's only me and Brent. It's a
I had it at 6 though.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Andy, where would it?
I can't fairly rank it. So I'd be okay with that. Or Mario Kart up there at 4 and Banjo at 5.
Banjo beats Mario Kart to me.
Does it?
Brent?
Oh.
100%.
100%.
Like I said, I'd put Diddy Kong Racing before 64.
Oh yeah, fuck.
So it'd probably have to go Banjo, then Mario Kart, right?
I'm not putting...
I'm the only one who had Mario Kart on their list,
Yeah.
but I had it at number 2.
But I would
2 other people had Diddy Kong.
I'd probably put it around 6 if I had to rank
So we're
to
at
10.
Ocarina, Super Mario 64, Majora's number 3, Banjo-Kazooie's number 4, Diddy Kong Racing number 5.
Oh, Harris Brothers. Go fuck off. Jesus Christ.
Brent, you with me?
Number 5?
Yeah, Diddy Kong Racing.
All right, it was number 4 or 5, so yeah.
Andy, willing to give that?
I would give that up because I put Diddy Kong Racing and Mario Kart the same because they do different things better than
Sure.
each other.
So it
If
depends.
it's a communal
I'm okay,
vote.
Mario Kart, then Diddy Kart.
Andy, so you're kind of the breaker here.
I'm going with my heart, then Jake is right. Mario Kart over Diddy Kong.
Oh, that's a stalemate.
I'm not breaking.
Okay,
You're not breaking?
Here's the thing. If you get everyone together to play some N64, you're not pulling out Diddy Kong Racing. You're pulling out fucking Mario Kart. If you bring people who aren't us here at the table, you bring like girlfriends or whatever. It's Mario Kart. You bring out DKR, they're gonna be like, "Whoa,
the hell
I'm
is
leaving
this?
you."
She can get the fuck out if she wants to play.
Why is there a T-Rex following me right now?
What is this, Monkey Cars? I don't want to play Monkey Cars. I know what Mario Kart is because I'm a normal person.
Fair enough. We'll put Mario Kart number 5. Mario Kart
works.
64.
Cool.
Can we put Diddy Kong Racing number 6 then?
I have a
what
lot
I
of problems with
agree
that. Do you think that Diddy Kong Racing is better than Super Smash Brothers?
Yes. Super Smash Bros. 64, while great in its time,
It's rough.
it's super rough.
It's rough to go back to now.
It's hard
Yeah.
If it was as fast paced as Melee, sure. But it's not.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. DKR 6. That's fine.
to... Sweet. I'm okay with putting Paper Mario at 7. Paper Mario is really good.
Where do we sit with Pokemon Snap and how?
10.
Yeah,
I wanted to at least make 10.
That's fair. I'm cool with that too.
So Paper Mario number 7. You guys okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
A game that we haven't brought up yet.
Yeah.
Would GoldenEye
Oh shit. Yeah.
be on this top 10 list at all?
I can see it number 9.
I think it has the same problem that you guys are saying Smash Brothers has. It is not aged well at all.
It's hard
It
to
is-
go back to
Yeah.
if you're used to playing first-person shooters.
Yep.
I played it about, 8 years ago now, and it took me about half an hour to figure the controls out. But once you did, you just get back into the game. It's
can't-
still a fun
Yeah.
game.
I can't forget the sound it makes.
Yeah.
You fire like the golden gun.
I think you probably would. I'd probably put it at like 8 or 9.
I'd say 9 is fire. I'm not. Is it better than Pokemon Snap?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll put it at number 9.
Yeah.
So what's our number 8 going to be?
Well, what other games did we have that other people didn't?
But
Blitz.
Pod Racer.
Blitz.
Nobody else put Pod Racer.
NFL
so-
Blitz.
Blitz, I'd be okay with too. But we
what
have to
game?
talk Blitz, NFL Blitz.
NFL Blitz.
It's a good game. It's probably the best sports game on N64.
I think so.
Brent, what do you think?
I'd say it's the best sports game on 64 for sure.
that what we want to do? Is it better? Is Blitz better than Pokemon Snap and GoldenEye?
Yeah.
Okay. Is our top 10? Is that our top 10 then?
Definitely for replayability. Sure.
All right, so there it is.
Someone go over it again.
So we have Ocarina of Time,
Number 1.
number 1.
Super Mario 64.
4 at number 2. We have Majora's Mask at number 3.
Zelda Elitist.
And then we had
Banjo-Kazooie
at number 4. We had Mario Kart 64 at number 5. We had Diddy Kong Racing at number 6. We had Paper Mario at number 7. We had
NFL Blitz.
NFL Blitz at number 8. We had GoldenEye at number 9. And Pokemon Snap at number 10.
Pokemon Snap.
And you said there were about 200 releases on N64.
No, close to 300.
Close to 300.
So
in America.
at number 300, I would put Donkey Kong 64, which is trash. Thank you for your time. It's maybe in the 20s. I mean,
I would say Superman 64.
Oh yeah,
Close to the bottom.
There's and you had a category on here that was like, what is the N64? What was wrong with it or something? We didn't really super go over, but I thought there was a lot of like bad games that got shoved onto N64, like
Yeah.
shovelware.
Well,
Yeah.
Donkey Kong 64 wasn't polished. That
No.
game was released way before it should have been.
Yeah, I feel
They
like
needed to
rushed
hit
it out.
the holiday
Yeah.
release window.
Which
That's why it got programmed, or that's why it got bundled in with the expansion pack.
Yeah, so you can't obviously say it's in like the hundreds of bad horrible games on N64, but it's one of the worst like first party mainstream N64 games.
Okay,
I
really,
agree.
really fast. If you guys have one honorable mention, what would it be?
Ooh.
I have one. Can I just say it?
Go for it.
Gauntlet Legends.
My honorable mention is actually Top Gear Overdrive.
mine would be either Mario Golf Tennis or Mario Golf. Mario Golf or Mario Tennis.
Yeah, those are both solid.
I used to play the hell out of Mario Tennis.
Yeah.
I think that's still my favorite Mario Tennis was the 64
yeah,
version.
I think Tennis 64 is better than Golf 64.
Yeah.
Oh, another honorable mention. I mean, I loved it. Was Yoshi's Story. I loved Yoshi's Story on the
See,
64.
No, Yoshi's Story's hot trash. What? No, compared to what they did on the Super Nintendo with Yoshi,
Oh, sure.
that game is a classic.
Yeah.
Yoshi's Story is not good.
Yoshi's Island's great.
Yeah.
I'm actually not a fan of Yoshi Island.
You're insane.
I hated the baby mechanic.
Oh my
The baby
God.
thing is annoying, but it's a great platformer.
Oh, I hated
What
it.
world do you live in, John?
The world I live in, I thought Brent would put Turok at number 1.
I knew you guys wouldn't take me seriously.
All right. That being said, if we didn't mention any of your Nintendo 64s, or do you have your own top 10 or top 5? List them off in the comments below. All right, guys, let's jump into the last portion of our show. And obviously, Brent, the trivia wizard, is back in the trivia seat. Brent, what do you got in store for us tonight?
This game's trivia name is called Not When, Not Where, Not What, but Who?
Not when, not where, not what, but who. Yeah.
So, I have a person or character or something that is within a Nintendo 64 game. And we're going to go around here, and I am going to act as them and read a description about them. A description about themselves.
Okay.
And then we'll take turns going around, and then you guys have to guess who these people are. So, Andy, would you like to start off number 1?
You're acting it out?
Yes.
Not really acting it out, just reading
Oh, he's acting it out.
maybe a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I'll start.
All right.
I wait for you to finish. I'm not going to scream it out, correct?
Yep, just wait for me to
Okay,
finish.
okay.
Yep, and then if you don't get it, we'll go around. All right. I think I'm the most beautiful lady in the land. And for those who disagree, will feel my wrath. I love to laugh and mock your flaws and mistakes. I love to play games and talk in rhymes. But I really hate when my dynamic duo adversaries get in my freaking way. Especially when they are constantly getting help from their little rodent friend. So if you're ever in my neighborhood, be sure to stop by and see my cool lair and different means of transportation. And if you hear allegations of me abducting anybody, they're simply not true. Okay, maybe a little true.
Is this Hillary Clinton? Oh, sorry. I mean, it's Gruntilda from Banjo-Kazooie.
Correct!
All right.
That's exactly right. All right, John, number 2. I'm pretty worthless and a little creepy. I do a really shitty job of concealing myself within this castle I'm in. And if you spend a little effort looking in my general direction, you'll probably see me. But don't be alarmed by my outfit that others have said that makes me look like I have chicken pox. But rest assured, I am short, healthy, giggling bundle of joy. And if you find me, I will give you something that will help you find and rate your friends, but only if you have enough of them.
Is it Toad?
In?
Super Mario 64?
Correct. Yeah! All right, Jake. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I in your way? Well, hitting me with an apple isn't going to help me hatch any faster, you jerk. You know they say that third time is the charm. I'm sorry that I was just late here. I don't have control over where my creators decided to place me. And that brings up a good point. Why are you here? This is an active volcano. And we are out here minding our own business, and then you decide to come along with your stupid multi-terrain vehicle and start to try chucking things at us to get a shot of what could happen. How dare you, sir or ma'am? I'm out of here.
Chauncey!
Nope, this is the volcano.
Oh, is it Moltres?
It is Moltres.
Okay, yeah. I was like, who the hell is in your way? Yeah, I remember that now.
Third time's a charm. Moltres.
And it's back to me with my 2
two
leading points.
Yep. All right, ready?
Oh, yeah.
Me kill creatures and men. I grab stab stick or boom boom gun and make things disappear. I collect shiny things and travel through weird purple gates, and I stop bad guy from getting scepter. Me good single player fighter.
I can't come up with anything.
I don't have anything either. Is it Gex?
Nope.
Just knowing Brent, I'm going to guess Turok.
It's Turok.
It's Turok. It's a character named Turok.
His name is Talcet, but he goes by Turok because Turok is the dinosaur hunter.
Oh my god. I got my point back.
You know the worst part of that? I wanted to say Turok.
I am Turok.
All right, John. Ready?
Yep.
I don't necessarily have a name, but I do have my own place that used to have a great view a couple of years ago, but now not so much. I mainly keep to myself, and I have a pet that I keep caged up down there. If you have one of 2 items, then you can surely succeed at my game. I'll reward you with a piece of my heart. Don't mind my neck. Yes, it looks broken, but I assure you I am fine. Also, if you have the time, could you run this item over to my weird depressed friend? He usually hangs out by a tree stump.
Is it Ocarina of Time? And is it Goron?
Nope.
I know nothing about Zelda, and I don't remember anybody else with a broken...
Yeah, I'm actually...
Freaking neck.
I'm at a loss here.
A stump.
I'm going to pass.
Something caged up? A pet caged up somewhere. Oh, is this Dompe, the Gravekeeper?
Nope.
Oh, shit.
Oh, it's not? That's what I thought so,
Yeah.
too. Is it the Postman?
Nope.
Skull Kid?
Nope.
We concede.
He is the lakeside scientist at Lake Hyrule in Ocarina of Time.
I never would have got.
That's a niche character to me.
His pet's the shark. That once you go down there, he's behind the bars.
Oh, okay,
Yep.
yeah.
And
Wow.
Wow,
his,
never would have.
his game is to touch the bottom of the tank.
Oh,
That's right.
okay.
Which you can
Oh,
do
that one.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Okay. Some think I am cute and cuddly. Others want to punch and kick my face. Usually, people who control me stray away from fights and don't like to chill out in the sky. But when I do join the fight, you can bet that I come down with such a force that it isn't to reckon with. I also love to eat. I'll pretty much eat anything, and I mean anything. And my most favorite thing to say is, hi.
I don't know. I got to pass.
Is it Kirby?
It is Kirby.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a high, and then he turns into the rock and comes down.
From
That's-
Super Smash Brothers,
yeah.
your reference?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So I don't think he does that in Crystal Shards.
Yeah.
He doesn't do that. So it means Andy takes the win?
Yep.
What was this game called, Brent?
Not what, not where, not when, but who?
Not when, not where, not what, but who? Yeah. All right, that being said, that's been episode 64 of Super Media All-Stars. You can find us on all kinds of social media. You can find us on Facebook at Super Media All-Stars. You can find us on Twitter at SMAS Pod. You can find us on Instagram at Super Media All-Stars.
You can find me on Instagram at SteelbookObsessed, and we're kind of close to the final 4 of the horror movie ever.
What's that looking like?
Let's see here. It is looking like The Thing, The Shining, Halloween, and then the winner of The Exorcist and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
My vote is for The Thing.
Yeah, same here.
The Thing is like one of my favorite movies of all
Yeah.
time.
You can find us on you can find Super Media All-Stars on all podcast services. You can find us on Google Play, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, everywhere but Spotify. That'll never happen.
We should give it one more shot.
There's not even a feud anymore. It's just not happening.
All right. That being said, audience, thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you next time.
Game over, man. Game over.
Bye-bye.
I am out of here.